Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. Do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more update videos. To get started, we are going to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. To get started with this recipe, I have already peeled and diced one large sweet potato. And here I have 2 apples, fairly large. And what you're going to do is you're going to leave the peel, but you're going to core them. And then you're going to slice them into thin pieces. Okay, there's my slices of apple and my bite-sized sweet potato. So now I'm going to reach over, grab my glass bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my apples. And to make sure that these don't turn, you want to work fairly quickly. So go ahead and put your sweet potatoes with that. Now I need 1 tablespoon of rosemary. And here I have some fresh rosemary that I got from the grocery store. And I am going to go ahead and take out enough to make 1 tablespoon of rosemary. And I'm thinking that maybe just 2 sprigs of rosemary will be fine. That's all I really needed for this recipe. That's all it calls for is 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off all the little sprigs of rosemary off the stem. And then I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to kind of cut it up into little pieces. That way it's evenly distributed through the whole thing, and every single bite that you get has a little taste of rosemary. So here I'm just cutting it up as small as I can get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to have enough of that rosemary to get through the whole bowl of sweet potato and apples. So we're going to grab our bowl and we are going to put our rosemary in with the sweet potato and the apple. But first we are going to put 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And you want to sprinkle this all over the sweet potato and the apples. And this will help keep the apples from turning while you sit and wait for your chicken to get done. So you put the rosemary in the bowl. Then you're going to sprinkle some salt. Then sprinkle a little bit of black pepper. And with clean hands, we are going to toss this until everything is well coated in the olive oil and the rosemary. Okay, we're going to set this aside and we're going to prepare our chicken. Okay, here I have chicken that has been trimmed and washed. I washed my chicken. It doesn't call for seasoning to be on top of the chicken, so I'm going to leave it like this. So in my preheated skillet, I'm going to go ahead and measure out 1 tablespoon of olive oil and put it right there in the pan. Now you want to get it really hot so you can sear the chicken. And you don't want to burn your chicken, but you want a nice golden color to your chicken skin. So put it face down right there into the skillet. And this recipe calls for 6 pieces of thighs. Now you can use whatever chicken you want. You can even use skinless, boneless chicken breast. But I'm going to go ahead and use the skin chicken thighs. So let's go ahead and sear this up until it becomes golden. And there you have it. There's the golden color. I am going to take it out of the pan and put it to the side. And when you put it inside the oven, it's going to get more color to the chicken skin. I didn't want to cook it too long because the chicken will be cooking inside the oven. So you just want a good golden color to your chicken. And go ahead and take it off the heat and put it to the side. Now I am going to take my spoon and scrape up all of that nice flavor off the skillet. And then to that, I am going to add 2/3 of a cup apple cider. Make sure that you're not getting apple cider vinegar. You want to get the apple cider that you drink. Now you pour that into the skillet and let it simmer. And you want it to boil down just a little bit, not too much, because you're going to have the drippings served with your dinner. So right there I have honey, and I am going to measure out 2 tablespoons of honey. You can use whatever brand you like. Now we are going to get out our grain mustard, coarse grain mustard. You want to make sure it's coarse grain mustard for this recipe. And it's kind of thick, so what you want to do is put 1 tablespoon into the skillet. We're going to let it simmer there for just a few minutes, maybe a minute or two. Then we're going to take our spoon and we're going to well incorporate that into the cider and make sure all the honey and the mustard is combined together. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that this simmers a little bit to combine all the flavors together before we put our chicken and stuff in there. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. And as you see, I'm just melting the butter with my spoon and making sure everything is stirred together. Now it is time to put our chicken into the skillet. Now you want to put your chicken in skin side up. Now that I've got all my chicken in the pan, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the center of the pan to make room for my sweet potato and apple slices. Okay, let's get started putting our apple and our sweet potato into the skillet. And I've turned off the heat because this is a cast iron skillet and it remains hot. So I'm going to make sure everything is well distributed through the pan and it allows the juice from the apple cider and the chicken to get on the vegetables. Also, you can also take this recipe and instead of putting sweet potatoes in there, you could also use butternut squash. I think that would be an excellent ingredient in this recipe. It just makes a great fall dish. Now that I've got all of my sweet potato and my apple slices in there, I'm going to go ahead and garnish it on top with rosemary. And I'm just going to put 3 sprigs of rosemary right on top. I think this dish is so pretty without it even being cooked. So let's go ahead and put it inside the oven at 425 degrees. And there it is in the oven. And there it is about to come out, all nice and bubbly, and it looks delicious. It is now time to take out our apple cider glazed chicken, accompanied by sweet potato and apple. Look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous, and it looks delicious. It is time to go and plate this up. Here I have a plate of rice. I'm going to serve it up with a chicken thigh. Spoon me up some vegetables. Oh, it looks so delicious, y'all. And it was so delicious. I'm going to carve into my chicken here. Juicy, tender chicken. Now I'm going to drizzle a little bit of that apple cider gravy that the chicken and the sweet potato and apple cooked in. I'm going to drizzle it all over my chicken and my vegetables. And there it is. I am going to dig in. I was absolutely amazed. There was hardly anything left of that pan. It was so delicious. I hope you liked this recipe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updated videos. See you next time. Bye!